Hey and welcome back to Silver Lake Park. This is episode 3.2, which is because the recording was way too long and we had to split it up into two parts. So here we are again. As the last time, I'm joined by SPRidley.
Hello, Adfo. So yeah, I think we need to start before it goes too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Of us presenting.
Let's be fast here. You showed off the pier that you did. That was the last challenge we took part.
I think we got second there. As you can see, the pier was like the Ferris Wheel, a hot dog stand, some beautiful lights. I think now
really
I'm going
beautiful lights, yes.
Yeah, in the night shots. The night shots are amazing, not only because of the lights, but because the engine is really good.
I agree, and maybe some little disclaimer here. We recorded that earlier, and we kind of re-record right now, so it might be a little bit off, but right now we are talking about the sun on the Ferris wheel that you built and you showed it off, and I liked it, and you wasn't really sure, if I remember correctly.
No, I wasn't really sure. I didn't really like it, but you say, oh, it's nice. So okay, a lot of this is inspired on DCA 2.0. Well, the sun actually in the Ferris wheel was DCA 1.0, if I remember correctly. And I also make like the rubbish bins, the trash cans, a little bit like the Disney ones. They're also guest size, and you can use them because there's a bin inside.
Exactly, and I really like them.
And then if you enter the queue, basically you see like the history of the Santa Monica Pier with different parts it has on the like different ages. So you don't get bored in the queue basically, because Ferris wheels can be really slow, operational.
True.
So I think a little museum in the queue is a nice touch with the model and of the pier and all that.
And it's actually kind of funny, if I may interrupt you here real quick. I hate Ferris wheels.
You hate Ferris wheels?
Yeah, I have no idea why.
A lot of people hate Ferris wheels. That's true.
I'm afraid of heights, and I can't go on Ferris wheels. I can ride coasters, no matter how high, but I can't ride
That's
Ferris
interesting.
Wheels. Right now you're showing off the tram, which is way too complicated.
Yeah, 2090 pieces or something like that. And the station, it's based a little bit on one of the stations in Los Angeles, and also a red car trolley station, like electric station, the company. And then there's the clock, and that was made thanks to Fog, where he's told us basically that syncing the clock, you could still see the hands of the clock, and it looks super nice for what I wanted. And the rails basically are made with two dark track rides, because it was the cat one, because it was super versatile, because it's only one. You can make a 4-meter piece and you can twist it like whatever you want.
You tried that before with the rails we have in game, right? With the rail pieces.
Yeah, the train pieces, and it was really hard to make them because they were not flexible enough. Then this is the fountain, that it's also based on Buena Vista Street from DCA, because I love DCA. I freaking love it. Not what they are doing right now with it.
And here comes the rent.
The 2.0 was amazing. It was beautiful. And yeah, we actually, what I was talking here, I think it was that we put a lot of emphasis in that it was a huge building because it was going to be surrounded by other downtown buildings of Los Angeles. So it wouldn't be like out of place, like some people
exactly thought. It looked a bit too massive in the challenge itself, but it was all in plan because we wanted it to stand out from the street from the beginning, and I think it works really well now that we have the street.
And this is all other parts that when we threw the towel basically, and I started building, and I made the theater, the Midway Games part, and now we're showing the theater basically. And as you can see, it's a jazz and swing show with some music from La La Land, because I really love that soundtrack and the movie. And I usually hear that music while building the Los Angeles park.
Which is very fitting.
Yeah, because it's very fitting and it makes me in the mood of building 1930 Los Angeles stuff, basically.
Yeah.
And you can see the queue there where you can wait for the show, basically.
Mm. Which I really liked. I didn't tell you that, I think, the last time. You used some schedule things over there?
Yeah, the menu for the cocktails in the bar.
Oh, I love cocktails.
Yeah. It's actually those ones are from a cocktail bar in London that it's called Cahoots, and it's amazing. If you are in London, you really have to visit it.
Why didn't we when we were in London?
Because we didn't have time, man.
Oh yeah,
true. We need to get there again.
True. But sorry, you wanted to talk about the jazz club you built there.
Yeah, the jazz club is something I showed to a lot of people, and they really liked it. I'm really proud of it because it was me trying to make better things in the game, like better interiors. And interiors are really hard getting them right because of the size of most stuff in Planet Coaster.
Yeah.
I used the sofas that are actually pretty amazing size-wise for this. Also, I made a window with art pieces. That window is because I watched it a path with that type of window, and I really loved it. And I said, I need to have something similar in my game, and to see how I could make it. And with art pieces, with the square ones, a little bit sideways, you can make that glass pattern where it has different shades of blue.
And it really fits the vibe of the club.
Yeah.
And here you have some beer, right?
Yeah. The beer. How do you say beer fountains? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's also the theater is also usable. They can enter to buy some gulpy drinks. There's no cocktails or alcohol in Planet Coaster. And then the jazz band. I made a complete jazz band. As you can see with the drums, the drum set and the piano, the grand piano. This grand piano, I have to say that it was based on a grand piano that was made by a feature content creator that's called Woody, and he made an amazing piano. But I just had to change it. I wanted it to be a little bit smaller, so I made it from scratch. For example, the number of keys in the keyboards, those are the real number of keys a real grand piano has.
That's really amazing details.
Yeah, that's too much amazing detail, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. I don't know how many pieces it's a lot.
And you use the cakes, right?
Yeah, the cookies for the drum sets, and the violin is also guest size. No, the bass. I don't know how it's
the contrabass.
Contrabass, yeah.
I looked it up this time.
Okay,
it's really contrabass.
It's called contrabass. Yeah, the contrabass is guest size. I made some stands for the wind instruments, like the sax and the trumpet. The trumpet is the in-game one. It's for the snowman. It's super big.
Yeah,
you just need to see like a giant guy playing this trumpet, I think.
Well, I mean, there's no way you can build a trumpet out of art shapes, I guess. Even you can't.
Yeah, I know that the theme parts are impossible. Yeah. And the sax was already really difficult. And yeah, that you see. And the billboards, it's something that I didn't make. I have to say I didn't make these ones, even if I like to draw and stuff. I just found them and say, this is perfect for what I want. Yeah. And I just use them.
They really fit perfect.
I think they're lovely. And I think we are going now to the Midway Games.
I think, yes.
Yeah, the Midway Pyre.
Exactly.
So this is one also of the last parts I started making. You see, this billboard is actually drawn by me. That's one of the mascots of our park. That's Belle, the blonde. And this is like a pop-up balloon thing where you throw darts to the balloons. You also have the tokens. You can buy tokens to play the games. And no refunds are available.
Of course not.
If you are out of luck, I'm sorry.
Not our fault.
Again, the logo is very DCA. The Great Rudy Race, of course, is a tribute to the great Rudy.
Yeah, big shout out to Rudy.
Big shout out. I showed him this already, but yeah, it's like a camel race, and you see the Rudy's avatar racing against other camels.
And you draw that picture yourself, right?
Yeah, I also draw that. Yeah. So people that don't know, I also made Foxy, the mascot in the game. I really like to draw stuff. so that's good for me. That's a Mighty Striker. I'm really proud of it because I could get it the size I really wanted. And then we had the relaxing fixings is another Midway game here. I didn't make the billboards. I didn't have enough time. This is going to be with you trying to fish some fish, and this is the typical game where you catch some fish, and whatever price is down the fish, you get that price, and they are small prices.
I remember them from my youth. I mean, it's a long time ago, but yeah, I remember them from fair games. But that's not all, right? I mean, you built so much for this small area. That's crazy, man.
the penny arcade with vintage real arcades of the 80s and things 1890s. I made also some more modern stuff like the arcade cabinets. There's like a football table. That is more like an European thing that was invented by a Spanish guy in the Spanish Civil War. Yeah, actually, I have to say something. I don't know if you noticed, but if you play football, and I'm sure you have played, because I'm sure in German there's football.
Oh yeah.
The gradient of the table goes like inside.
Yeah.
And I did that with my table. Like it has like a little gradient in each size. Then there's a solder machine, like in the movie Dick with Tom Hanks. An Uncle Sam, where you give him his hand and he gives you a personality trait. This actually exists in real life. An ATM, so the building can be used by guests. These are called mutoscopes, I think, and you can watch vintage films on them.
So which film is played there?
Usually sexy movies.
Ooh, sexy movies.
But I suppose in a park like this it's more like
R-rated.
And then there's the Pac-Man cabinet, Punch Out with the two double screens. Every cabinet is tried to be like as similar as possible as the real cabinet, with the real joystick compositions and button composition. Decorations, the color, the speakers, for example, in Donkey Kong, it's in the same place. And
again, the attention to detail is just mind-blowing, really.
Yeah. It's a lot of time to work, but I think it's fun at the same time. A vintage crane, some air hockey.
Air hockey, right.
Some old pinballs. I'm sure everyone has played air hockey.
Oh, yeah.
It's really famous Midway game. Some ski balls in the back, some vintage ones, because some of them are not really, like I tried to see if there were really old versions from the 1930s, but they weren't. Like the hockey, I tried to make them wooden, to make them a little bit vintage looking.
Yeah. And now we are going to Pacific Diner, which is...
Yeah, the Pacific Diner.
Has a perfect view over the lake.
Yep. It's beautiful to watch the fireworks when we make them at the end. Yeah, I hope they fix fireworks. But you can see I've paid a lot of attention also to the where you get the
ketchup and
stuff
mustard,
to eat, the ketchup and the mustard. It's a family place, so you can go to eat some pizza, hot dogs, fish and chips. So because there's a building that I think we are going soon to it, that it's the restaurant.
Yeah. That
it was a challenge and I forgot to talk about it. It was one of the challenges.
Exactly. And this one you won.
Yeah, this one this one I got second. This one I won. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure you won.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm talking now about the public library of Los Angeles. I did so the train passes, and you don't see only backstages of buildings. And of course, it's based on the beautiful building in Los Angeles, the public library. Also, a lot of people know it because of L.A. Noir.
Yeah, very famous.
And now we're entering the derby, the Brown Derby. That it's actually a one that existed in old Hollywood, where you had this type of caricatures, portraits of famous actors, all made with billboards, of course. And a little terrace where you can see the future ride and the train passing.
Yeah. The train coming straight out of the mountain.
Out of the mountain, yeah. I need to make the cave still. And yeah, that's basically it. Now we can talk a little bit of the new ride we want to make, where Adfo is going to work also, now that he has
because
more time.
Basically everything we showed in this episode was made by you, right?
Yeah, lots of power.
I'm feeling really bad because I didn't do anything. And
no, don't feel bad. It's real work. Like it's in part 1. It's something.
And you made this amazing Hollywood signs, which is basically the same one.
It's the same one as the real 1930s version with the Hollywood land. Because it was for some houses that they wanted to build in the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the same. I tried to make it even on the same. They move the letters. If you see them from afar, it looks like it's like a wave.
Mm.
But that's because one is more in front than the other, and things like that. And I tried to get as realistic as possible with that. Watching some photos, and then the station, I made it. It was a house, an old house before of Hollywoodland, but at the end I changed it for just a soundstage of a studio. And what we are going to do for me with the log flume is something like.
We need to say that again. We tried real hard to get up videos, but in the end it wasn't possible to do it and work on the challenge. But now that we don't work on the challenge anymore, we can probably do that. And now we really need to end because the video started again.
So yeah, goodbye, people. I hope you see you soon with more videos, hopefully sooner than this one.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
And that's it.
Yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.